Alright, so before we get into the video, we're going to be talking about the Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano post-fight review. So Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano ends into a split decision draw. And my thoughts on it, good fight, but I thought that Brian Castano did enough to win the fight. I thought that he was the more active fighter. In my opinion, I thought that he hurt Charlo a lot in the fight. Yeah, it was a very, very, very good fight. Charlo also did hurt Castano twice. I feel like he hurt him like more than Castano hurt Charlo, but those were really what Charlo was really doing in the whole fight. Charlo wasn't really doing anything. Castano was throwing a lot of hard shots to Jermell Charlo, and Jermell Charlo was just trying his best to keep the fight in like at mid range to try to outbox Castano, but just he could not handle Castano's pressure fighting and his ability to like. And I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't know Brian Castano was that good. I always thought that Brian Castano was super super. I always thought he was really good, but I didn't know he was that good. Like I thought he beat Charlo. I thought it was 8 rounds to 4, 7 rounds to 5 for Castano. That 117-111 card is freaking outrageous, dude. What the hell? That judge had it to be freaking asleep or just was on his phone or something. Cause how the hell do you have Charlo winning 9 rounds to 3, 8 rounds to 4? How the hell did you think that Charlo won that many rounds? It would have been different if it was for Castano, but for Charlo, come on, dude. Get the hell out of here, bro. That's the thing with Texas. I also hats off to the ref. There was only one thing though. I thought that should have been a knockdown when Brian Castano hit Charlo, because I felt like those ropes held Charlo up. Um, but the ref didn't call it. But that's really the only thing I that was that's my only concern about the fight. The ref did a very good job. Hats off goes to the ref. Um, but again, I thought that Castano won the fight, and I'm just so surprised because the ability of how Brian Castano can just pressure you down, and try to box his way in to, drive you to the ropes and just bang you up there. Like I didn't know, like Castano is so good at that, and he did that against Charlo really easily. Charlo did hurt him, but he did not go down at all. I thought that Brian Castano should have got a knockdown there. I know people don't really talk about it because it's Jermell Charlo, but I thought that should have been a knockdown. But I really want to see a rematch. It was a damn good fight. Um, I'm not gonna do my prediction right now. I'm not gonna say who I'm go for it in the rematch, but very very good fight. I kind of underestimated Brian Castano. Actually, I kind of wanted Brian Castano to win, to be honest. I did pick Charlo to win, but I wanted Brian Castano to win. But I'm just being honest with you. I I just thought that Brian Castano did enough to win. Like my dad said that freaking he thought that Charlo won. I honestly don't know how he thought that Charlo won. He was saying he was picking up from the outside. Literally, it was he wasn't really doing anything when he was like trying to box in the outside. He could not do anything when Brian Castano was literally just pressuring him down and driving him to the ropes and banging him up. Charlo couldn't do anything. He rocked him twice, but that was really it. He wasn't really doing anything. And then my dad made up like an excuse saying saying like oh look at Charlo's face and look at Brian Castano's face. Both of their faces didn't really look beat up, and it looked like, but Charlo's jaw, it looked like he had a freaking baseball on his jaw. Like if you see the post fight like review, if you see like the post fight of the post fight interview of Charlo, you can see like the big the not the big lump on his cheek. You know, like you can see like a very big lump on his cheek. And Castano, I mean, he had a little like lump right here on his eye, but it wasn't even that bad, to be honest. Both of them didn't really look that beat up. But again, I did think that Brian Castano did enough to win the fight. I'm not saying this a split decision draw is the worst decision in the world, But I did think that Brian Castano was the more active fighter. He was throwing a lot of power. He was throwing hard shots to Charlo. Driving Charlo to the ropes. Kind of. But the thing is with Castano was really focusing on the body. I mean, not the body, but the head of Charlo. But he was doing very well to it. But if they were going in the rematch, I think he really needs to like go to the body of Charlo next time. But just man, dude, that Castano guy is just really good, man. But anyways, on to the video. Hey, what's up, y'all? Preston for Fight Media 360 here. So this is a quick preview and prediction for Cory Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. So before we get into all this fight takes place this Saturday, 24th of July. And this is gonna be a very, very, very good fight, man. Very, very good fight, man. So now we got that out the way. So now let's talk about their stats, and then the odds, and then what they need to do to win, and then my final prediction. So let's start off with Cory Sandhagen. So Cory Sandhagen comes into the fight with a record of 14 wins, 2 losses. He stands at a height of 5'11", weighs in at 135 pounds, and fights out of Aurora, Colorado, United States. TJ Dillashaw comes into the fight with a record of 16 wins, 4 losses. He stands at a height of 5'6", and weighs in at 135 pounds, and fights out of Angels Camp, California, United States. Right. Cory Sandhagen is listed as a negative 190 favorite over TJ Dillashaw. So yeah. So now we got that out the way. So now let's talk about what they need to do. What they need to do to win, and then my final prediction. So let's start off with the slight favorite, Cory Sandhagen. So what I would like to see from Sandhagen is most definitely use your height advantage, because there's a significant height advantage. Because I believe he's like a 4 inches taller than TJ, and I'm guessing that their reach is. Oh, I would say that Cory Sandhagen has a most definitely a longer reach. He definitely needs to use that against TJ and not make him go into the inside, because TJ's one strong dude, and he can easily knock you the hell out. So he definitely needs to keep TJ at bay, and pick his shots from the outside, do leg kicks, and take down TJ, but be very careful when you do, because TJ can submit you. So like, if he ain't just hands, he can grapple and he can submit you. So Cory needs to make sure to be careful of that, but really kind of dominate on the feet. When you're on the feet, keep your range against Dillashaw. Make sure you're not too close to Dillashaw, because if you fight up close against Dillashaw, then that is very bad, and then Dillashaw will counter you and really hurt you very badly. So he needs to again keep his range from Dillashaw, and then just really just outstrike him in the outside, and then again take him down, and try to submit him or something like that, because I believe he hasn't been submitted, but maybe try to just out wrestle him too on the ground, because I would say both of them. Yeah, I would say TJ's just a bit better at wrestling than Sandhagen, but Sandhagen is decent on the ground, so he maybe needs to work on his grappling a little more against TJ, and then try to take TJ on the ground and try to score points there. But mostly the key of it is also the jab. Make sure you use that jab and throw that out there to keep TJ off of you. Because like I bet you if you keep hitting him with the jab, you like TJ, it would be hard for TJ to come in, especially or if you move your feet around and you do that. And really do those flying knees like how Cory Sandhagen knocked out freaking Frankie Edgar, how he knocked him the hell out with the knee. That was pretty cool. But he needs to like maybe use those against TJ. But again, be very very careful against TJ because again, TJ is one strong dude. So he doesn't want to risk getting caught by TJ because even though of how long of a layoff that TJ has, even though how long of a layoff TJ has been, from the UFC, again, he still carries a lot of power. So he can still put you to sleep pretty easily. So he needs to just use his youth, use his skills against Dillashaw, and again just keep Dillashaw at bay with the jab. Maybe throw some leg kicks here and there, but I don't think Cory Sandhagen is much of a leg kicker. So, maybe just try to just outbox him, because Sandhagen is a pretty good boxer when it comes down to the feet. You know, and he, obviously shows that, he has good flying knees, so he definitely needs to use that against TJ Dillashaw. So that's what he needs to do against TJ Dillashaw. So now for TJ Dillashaw. So what I would like to see on TJ Dillashaw is bull rush the hell out of Sandhagen because Dillashaw is a very aggressive guy. He kind of reminds me of a white version of a Tyron Woodley. Not like this Tyron Woodley right now, but the prime Tyron Woodley, like the one that was the champion. He was really good. That's what kind of TJ Dillashaw kind of reminds me of is a Tyron Woodley. He definitely needs to be aggressive and kind of like shoot at Sandhagen, and try your best, to get in the inside and try to, punch him. Use your head movement. Use your head movement to get in the inside and then try to catch Sandhagen slipping. Definitely tear up the body of Sandhagen. Definitely tear up the body of Sandhagen. And then, and also, one more thing about Sandhagen. What I would really want to see from Sandhagen is body shots from Sandhagen. But anyways, on to TJ Dillashaw. He definitely also, kind of like what I said about Cory Sandhagen, hit him to the body and then time him to the body and then the head. Kind of like what Mike Tyson does. Like, he hits to the body and then he fakes and punches you in the face and knocks you out. That's what he That's what he needs to do in this fight, because Cory Sandhagen does leave openings. Even though Sandhagen does move around pretty well, he does bounce around a little too much, and he gets a little overconfident. So TJ needs to just just pretty much just tell Sandhagen that you're the man in the octagon, and just pretty much just pressure the hell out of Sandhagen and just throw bombs at Sandhagen and try to take Sandhagen on the ground and try to throw bombs at Sandhagen, and that's what TJ Dillashaw needs to do to win. So yeah. So my final prediction for this fight, again, this is a damn good fight, dude. I honestly cannot wait for this fight, dude. This is gonna be a really, really, really good fight, man. Really good fight. But if I would have to pick one, I would have to lean more towards Cory Sandhagen by a TKO. I know probably all y'all in the comments right now are saying, "You son of a gun," and all this and that. TJ Dillashaw was freaking the former UFC champion. Yes, that's true, but literally he hasn't fought ever since he lost the belt. We don't know if TJ Dillashaw is gonna come in shape. Usually TJ comes into the fight in shape. But you're fighting a guy like Cory Sandhagen, who is a beast. You know, six TKO NKOs and 3 submissions. So that is, bro. So that is 9. So that is 9. You know, stoppages. I know that's not, and out of like 14 wins, not super. It's not like, oh my gosh, but that is really well. You know, that is, decent, and especially that, like, the boxing skill of, Sandhagen, and Sandhagen is pretty slick too. Not saying he has good head movement, but he can move his feet very well. And I just think that the layoff of Dillashaw would just, I just don't see him being the same Dillashaw, dude. I want Dillashaw to win, but I just don't think he will win this, man. Dillashaw has just been out of the game for a while. He hasn't fought since 2019, bro. That is like what? Like what? When was it? Like, I know it was 2019, but February of 2000. No. That's Cory Sandhagen. I need to talk to see DJ Dillashaw. So, TJ Dillashaw hasn't fought since like the beginning of 2019. So that is a really, really long time. He's been out of the UFC for 2 years, dude. And he lost in his last fight. He lost against Henry Cejudo. So I just don't see him having that much success. I just think he's gonna be very worn out. He is 35 years old. I just don't see him being the same Dillashaw. And Dillashaw doesn't have the best chin in the world. And you know what the hell Cory Sandhagen did against Frankie Edgar, man. So that's why I pick Cory Sandhagen by a TKO. So yeah. So that's my final prediction. I got Cory Sandhagen by a TKO. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm Preston from Fight Media 360, and thank y'all for watching this video.